let's get to how high rent is killing people.
Yeah, so this is, you can file this under well, I felt this, but like I didn't have a, a study that backed it up. But yeah, so basically a recent report by the journal, well, it appeared in the Journal of Social Science and Medicine, shows that unaffordable rents are linked to premature death,
which is one of the worst things you can catch.
Yeah,
premature death.
It's usually fatal. So, for instance, an individual paying 50% of their income towards rent in 2000 was 9% more likely to die over the next 20 years compared with somebody paying 30% of their income towards rent. Now, this is
basically, if you put all your money towards rent, you tend to not have it for things like doctors and stuff, which are ridiculously expensive in the US, or probably towards healthier food, because it's a lot cheaper to buy McDonald's than to buy, healthy food of any sort. So yeah, the money goes towards rent and not towards other things.
Well, not only that, but what they also point out, it's a Princeton study. What they also point out here is the stress. The stress.
I try and remind you every time that you do that the podcast has no idea why you stop mid-sentence and go, eh. It sounds like you farted or something. It's like, and I got to tell you, well, hello. Like it's
because Lee likes to put articles over my face. And it's not that I need to see my face, but I feel like maybe people want to see my face because I'm here.
Accidental.
Yeah, it's like the Freudian slip thing. Anyway, so they are highlighting the stress factor as well. And there have been multiple studies about the effect that stress has on premature death, which is,
right.
Spoiler alert.
Right.
The more you stress, the quicker you die. So the point that they're making here is that it is so remarkably stressful to rent, to try and find rental properties and to hold on to them in the United States, that you will die sooner. And they make the distinction between those who rent and those who own because basically their point is that most homeowners have like a fixed rate mortgage, and particularly if they've been there for quite a while, then they have less mortgage to worry about. But whereas renters can expect their rent to go up significantly each year or whenever, if they don't have the benefits of rent control, which most people don't, as their wages stagnate or even they lose access to wages, and the price of food, everything else goes up while their wages stagnate. So this really just highlighted, basically, as they put it, the political economy of housing as a fundamental cause of health, and in this case, bad health. So yeah, basically that's it in a nutshell.
But just to add to this is, if you dig down deeper, this has to do with the fact that our ruling elite and the capitalist system as a whole has no care for actually how individuals are doing on this planet, in this country. There is no consideration given for whether people are doing well out there. That is how you end up with 17 million empty homes across America, and yet people homeless, and yet people living with 3 families in a 1-family home. There is no care given for. Yes, there actually is an invisible hand of the free market, except it just pushes everything towards profit while all else dies. The environment dies, the people die, people struggle, they get sick. All of it is just done in the pursuit of profit, and there is no care given for the fact that people are struggling and miserable and barely hanging on. And this study just proves a little bit more of that point.
Right, and then, of course, they've also shown that this has a racial aspect. Wow, that's shocking, isn't it?
Hold on, in the United States, we are in a post-racial world right now. Okay,
I agree.
I took down the sign that said "other water fountain over there." I took it down.
And this is they're also showing it over time. So they start taking numbers from roughly 2000. So over time, the the connection between early mortality and difficulty finding or holding on to a rental property, that rises over time. And of course, they also with their findings of eviction, that is also leading to early mortality, not least of all because a lot of times when people end up evicted, they end up homeless. Now, they didn't go and find out whether these people were homeless, but they found that there is a direct correlation between evictions and bad health. Again, not at all
Shocking.
surprising,
Shocking.
but to have, I think a lot of times having something in black and white, so to speak, kind of like the other Princeton study that shows that it doesn't make a shit bit of difference what the people of the US want. The government just does what
Right.
the oligarchy wants.
Right.
So I think sometimes having it in like these very structured and academic terms helps other people accept that this is just how it is. And so I recommend sharing this with folks who might have some questions about, whether the US is a good place.